Now, I have two reasons for why I've done these two movies together. The first reason is that these two movies actually came out in the exact same year. And the second reason is that these two movies also ultimately did their greatest job to ultimately just destroy this franchise. Fuck these movies!
But if you close your eyes,
The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions. So The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions is the sequel and the trilogy to the first Matrix movie. A movie that I thought was absolutely awesome. And yeah, these movies absolutely completely destroyed The Matrix. Now, I've also done these two movies together because they both do pretty much the same thing in just basically doing it all wrong. I mean, there are so many things that they have in common that I might as well just do them together just because it makes sense. Now, first off, you've got the fighting in The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions. The fighting in this movie, compared to the first movie, is absolutely dog shit. Because the thing is with the first movie is that it had some really kick-ass music and it had some really cool fighting moments as well, you know, kung fu shit like I was saying in the last review. And then in this one you've just got absolutely over-the-top, weird, just slow motion kung fu shit that just doesn't really make any sense whatsoever. It is so weird. The music and the sound effects as well are completely ridiculous. I mean, if you watch The Matrix Reloaded, it's actually very, very strange because what they do is when Neo grabs one of the Smiths and spins them around and hits all the other Smiths, it actually sounds like bowling pins being knocked around. I mean, what is that all about? That is... what? And then of course you've got the stupid, weird CGI Dragon Ball Z rip-off of The Matrix Revolutions where they're fighting in the rain. I mean, the rain is kind of cool, but I just can't help thinking of Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, that's completely ruined it. And even the CGI in the second and third movie were terrible as well. The first Matrix movie was almost groundbreaking for its CGI effects, but in the second and third movie, they just kind of took a step backwards for some reason. Because in Reloaded, you've got these twins who What? What are these twins? What? I mean, they look absolutely ridiculously bad. And then, of course, in Matrix Revolutions, you've got Babyface here. I mean... I don't even know how to explain that. I just... what? And yeah, some of the characters in Reloaded and Revolutions as well are also pretty awful. In fact, the writing in general was actually awful in both of these movies. Because, I mean, this kid appears who makes a slight appearance in The Matrix Reloaded and just has no meaning whatsoever. You know, keeps going on about, oh, you saved me and all this kind of stuff. But it's like, what exactly did Neo save you from? You know, who is he? What is he? Well, what does he mean? I don't know. He's nobody. And then for some reason in the third movie, he then transforms into a main character. I mean, whose idea was that? He was in a lot of involvement in the third movie and ends up saving these guys. And he had no meaning whatsoever. God's sake. Oh yeah, and don't forget about the Merovingian as well, who is literally in this movie just to purely abuse the French. I mean, he kind of reminds me of John Malkovich in Johnny English. You know, he's literally just in it just to kind of put on a French accent that's terrible, but kind of try and sound intimidating but cheesy at the same time, which just doesn't work. I mean, it's awful. Oh my god, I wanted him to die so quickly as soon as he appeared. And then he's also got his girlfriend, who's played by Monica Bellucci, who is literally just in this movie just to show off her tits, really. I mean, you can't ignore her. I mean, look at her in Revolutions. I mean, look at that. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean... that dress is something else. But going back to the second one, literally the Merovingian kicks them out and doesn't want to give them the keymaker, and then they are about to go away. And then the writers of this movie, pretty much the Wachowski brothers, just decide, oh, you know what? We are going to let them have the keymaker. We need to get them the keymaker. So how about it? It's separated by a kiss. What? And then you've also got the architect as well, who is pretty much the death of Reloaded, because as soon as he comes on screen, as soon as he starts talking, you are instantly just going... what's this motherfucker saying? Seriously, you can't understand anything he is saying in this scene. It's one of those confusing scenes that I think you'll ever watch in movie history because it just doesn't make sense. He tries to use really overcomplicated words and sounds really sophisticated because he's the creator of the Matrix. Oh, he's got to sound sophisticated. We'll just you know, looking at the thesaurus and putting really long words and making sound sophisticated. Do you think the audience will understand though? Well, the audience is smart, right? Yeah, well done for understanding your target audience there, Wachowskis. Oh, but don't forget about the third movie as well. The third one has also got some pretty shitty writing as well. I mean, the train station is not explained whatsoever, other than the fact that it's just something that's in between the Matrix and the real world. So it's just there. It's not there for a purpose. It's not there for anything, really. And it doesn't even explain how Neo got there, how he managed to get into this situation. And then you've also got Trinity surviving for about half an hour, even though she's got bloody pipes in her stomachs and whatever, who's supposed to be dead. I mean, there is no way she survived that and lasted for 5 minutes, I think it is. I mean, that's bullshit. However, the biggest issue of all with both these movies is time, because you've managed to span it out over 4 hours worth of just really awful content. I mean, you've got The Matrix Reloaded and you've got The Matrix Revolutions spread over a trilogy, just because trilogies? Seriously, in The Matrix Reloaded, I feel like they could have easily cut out half an hour, and then in The Matrix Revolutions you could maybe cut out 45 minutes. I think the downfall of this is when they started focusing on Zion, they actually made it about the war. They stopped focusing on Neo for quite a long time, just to focus on the war, which I think is the negative of it all. In my opinion, what they should have done is I think they should have just purely focused on Neo. And so if you cut out the unnecessary content in Reloaded and Revolutions and put them both together, you get a 2 hour and 45-minute movie, which I know is a bit long for a Matrix movie in particular, but at least you're saving yourself more than an hour, and it's only one movie that spoils it. Or maybe not, maybe it could be good, I don't know. And I would also change the title, because that's kind of the idea. I think they should have not gone with Reloaded and Revolutions. They should have focused on Neo and then called it The Path of Neo. I seriously do believe it should be called The Matrix The Path of Neo. God, this game's fucking awesome. Because that's the thing, the game does it perfectly. The game illustrates it's all about Neo. It's his path. It's what he's going to do after he becomes the One. That is what, in my opinion, Reloaded and Revolution should have been about. Not about the war, because it just drags on for ages. Now, yeah, there are a lot of negatives with both The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, but not everything's absolutely terrible in this movie. I mean, in terms of the acting of Neo and Trinity, Morpheus, and especially Agent Smith, you know, they all still try their best. And there are some effects in both of these movies that do also work. I mean, in Reloaded you've got the door changes, and then you've also got the way Neo brings Trinity back by grabbing that bullet that's inside her body. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I did like that approach. And then in Revolutions there's also that cool bit that I think is really, really cool actually, is where Neo's blinded in the real world and he just sees, like, you know, yellow depictions of everything. I thought that was also pretty cool as well. But there is one scene in The Matrix Reloaded that I think has to go down as one of the greatest scenes in cinema for being the best car chase scene I have ever seen. And that's obviously the highway scene. That is awesome, because it takes the normal gratifications of a highway scene, you know, a car chase scene, you know, like you see in Bourne or in Taken or something like that. But what it cleverly does is takes the ideas of the Matrix and then forms that into a car chase, which, I mean, is obvious. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's brilliant. But guys, in the end, I think that these two movies are just absolutely awful. Seriously, watch the first movie and then play Matrix The Path of Neo on PS2. You are sorted, okay? That's all you need to know for The Matrix. I mean, The Reloaded has got one really cool scene, I'll give it that. So I will say that for The Matrix Reloaded, I'm going to be putting this movie in a special pile of mine. But as for The Matrix Revolutions, this has absolutely nothing I liked about it in this, apart from a couple things maybe. And I think the only justice that this movie deserves is for me to do this. Fuck this movie. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will enjoy more videos that is to come on this channel. If you've got any questions or any opinions that you want to express for yourselves, leave a comment down below, and I guarantee you I will contact you straight away. But for now guys, I will see you in the future.